I think in the end, business is very much gut feeling. You can like look at the numbers, you can um, analyze, think, but in the end, like when you make the decision, it's like, what do I feel is the right decision? And typically, you're right.
No, I hear you. And how does language play into all this? Because, being technical and being design savvy doesn't necessarily mean you're a very good English speaker or, can
Yeah.
communicate well. So where do you cross that line where you decide, hey, I'll put up with poor communication, not communication, but poor opportunity to communicate in exchange for great work? Like, how do you determine what is best there?
Yeah. So there's this great book called The 1 Minute Manager. And one of the things that I really like in that book is that first you say what you want and explain what you want the other person to execute. That sounds bad, execute, but like do, right? And then you get that person to say it back to you. Because sometimes what the other person is hearing isn't what you were saying. So by relaying it back to you, you make sure that there's less communication, like communication mishaps. Um, in terms of language, in my experience, like outsourcing to the Philippines, people speak pretty good English in general. Like their English is pretty good, so that hasn't really been an issue. Yeah, I haven't really had a big issue. The only thing is when people in the Philippines write English, it sometimes is a little bit like they have a Filipino way of writing it, which is they just use some words differently. It's still English. It's just the how it's put together is a little bit different.
So the
But
slang is different, which may come across differently, but it's still the same type of
yeah, it's very
information.
understandable, and I don't have that much issues in terms of communicating in English to the Philippines. I actually we don't outsource to India, we don't outsource to China, we don't do Vietnam or Thailand. It's like either done in the Philippines or it's done in Eastern Europe or some Western country.
So if I wanted to start outsourcing today, I'm someone watching this video. I'm like, hey, you know what? This sounds great. There's definitely a lot of good information here, and I can probably move some tasks over to some different countries to save some money. What are the three things I need to be doing right now to start looking at outsourcing if it's the right thing or not for my business?
Okay, so first of all, the school system has trained us into thinking like employees. Okay, so when you get an assignment in school, you're told to do it yourself. But a good entrepreneur would say, okay, this is the result I want. Who can I get to do that for me? Another thing is that we get hammered into in school is like modeling other people. So basically looking at somebody's website and saying that website's converting really, really well. If I just model it or copy it, exact same design, different colors, different brand, different product, I'll probably get more or less the same results once I get people on the page. If you do that in school, again, you get penalized, right? So um, as entrepreneurs that are starting out, we still have this like entrepreneurial programming going in our head. And in school, we do not learn how to delegate and become um, business owners, right? So the first important thing to do is to start outsourcing, like start getting the training that you need to delegate and get other people to do things for you. I think a lot of people kind of go like, oh, I need to like plan this all out and I need to build all the systems, I need to do all this. I typically say get a general virtual assistant first, like from the Philippines. Get a general VA, because then you can start handing over your calendar, and once that person's there and you're paying for that person, you want to start giving them stuff, or else it's wasting your money, right? So that kind of has like this psychological way of getting you to start delegating, and it's around $500 a month, right, full time. So once you start sending off the work, you start getting that entrepreneurial training in delegation, and you start thinking like, oh, this person works in a different time zone. How can I build a system so that they manage my calendar? How do I share my calendar? Maybe I should set up a separate email that I start forwarding emails to so they can start replying for me. So that's number one. Number two is a more sort of technical aspect of business, what I call the rule of four. Every single business in the world has the same build-up. It's just that either you have a big corporation with like 60,000 people, um, or you have like one person and everything in between. But every company has a CEO, has sales and marketing, production, admin, and operations. So what you can do is you can take a sheet of paper and just write CEO, admin and operations, sales and marketing, and production, and then just write down all the different tasks that you need to be doing on a consistent basis within those different departments. And if you do not have a sales and marketing department, you are the sales and marketing department until you start outsourcing it or start getting staff to do it. So that's number two. And then number three is looking back at that list and saying, what is the one most important thing to start doing? Like, what is the most, which of these tasks is the most painful for me? And I would say that's probably accounting. Like when you're starting out, the most important thing is to have an accountant. And that accountant should train you in how to do your accounting, right? So you don't want to leave that to the end of the year. You want to do it at the end of every single month, so it doesn't build up and compound. So I think those are the three first basic steps.
And the final thing I would ask you before we kind of let you go is, do you have a platform you personally use, one over the other? Like, do you use Elance, Odesk, or is there one that you prefer and why?
Okay, so for recruitment. Okay. In terms of platform, it really depends. Like sometimes we found people on Craigslist. The way it typically works is I will figure out, oh, we need some kind of person, right? And then I have my general virtual assistant, and I tell her what kind of person we're looking for. She then writes up the job description, right? Sends it to me. I read it through, give feedback, then I give it back to her, and I say, please look for a person like that on the following websites. So sometimes we found people on Craigslist, sometimes on LinkedIn, sometimes on people per hour, freelance. We don't really, it's not one over the other really. When we were looking for a new copywriter, that was on Craigslist. We found somebody on Craigslist. So, but I think the important thing here is that I actually get somebody else to post and follow up, and also do the initial interview, because all those things save me time, because there just isn't enough hours in the day. There just simply isn't. And I always ask myself, so most people kind of go, oh, I need to get this done. Like I don't really do that. I go, who can I get to do this for me? So I'm asking myself different questions. So that I think that's a really important question if you want to free up yourself from your business more. It's like, what can I automate? How can I get somebody else to do this for me? What kind of people do I need? How can I attract those kind of people? So I think that's really important.